Hello, everybody. I think we are getting ready here to get going. I see you, Janice. Do we need to do anything to open up video for? Okay, gotcha. All
Yeah,
right. So
yeah,
thank you, everybody, for joining us here today. I'm Tim Wilson. We've got Janice Hurley here with us as well. And we are here to kind of kick off what we expect will be our bi-monthly get-together with our members. Today, we're trying this out. We've never done this before, but we're going to be opening this up to questions to you guys. We'll be sharing with you some of the new late and great features that we are launching here on bnbfinder. And then we'd also like to open it up to you guys for any questions or commentary or just sharing of different stories. And I would say giving full credit where full credit is due. This is not our idea. This is an idea that we are borrowing from our good friend Christine Gustafson from Inlight Marketing. She does web design and promotion for a number of innkeepers, mostly out in California, but a few other places across the country as well. And she's been doing one of these once a week with her clients ever since the pandemic began. And we've had the opportunity and I would say privilege to attend a couple of these with her and just thought it was amazing to see a group of 15 20 innkeepers kind of getting together just to kind of share stories about what's going great, what's not going so great, what's working for them, what's not working for them, and just the collaboration and sharing of ideas we just thought was amazing. And so we wanted to try this out here with our members, and in part of that, we want to also share with you guys some of the new things that we're working here on Finder as well. So thanks for joining us here today. And I guess let's see here, Janice, what do you want to kick off with here first?
yeah, absolutely. So I do have everyone is off of mute. I want to make sure it says unmute all attendees. So everyone should be able to unmute. I just want to make sure you can. Let's look in the questions here and see if anyone's having issues.
Yeah, I don't see anything in there, but it is looking here on my end that it looks like everybody is self-muted. Oh, and I see Peter saying, yes, it works. Thanks for letting us know, Peter.
Yes, it works. So if you speak, Peter, we should be able to hear you.
Kathleen Panic here. I'm unmuted.
Oh, there you are, Kathleen.
Oh, Kathleen, perfect. And any of you who are using webcams, we should be able to see your webcam come up here as well. And one thing I would like to mention is that we're going to be migrating off of GoToWebinar. Zoom now has pretty much all the capabilities that GoToWebinar has had for years now. Zoom now has everything, so we'll be able to do these through Zoom. And I think it's a lot easier for folks not needing to download something, and it's certainly a lot easier on the video front. So, I see right. Peter there. Yes, it works. Okay, great. So would love to just take a few minutes just to go around for the folks that have joined us today, just to have everyone introduce themselves, where you're from, the name of your inn, how long you've been running your inn for, and really anything you'd like to share with the group. I think it looks like, Kathleen, yeah, it looks like you're unmuted. So Kathleen, if you want to, that would be great.
Okay, I have the Gillum House Bed and Breakfast in Chinston, West Virginia. I have 3 guest rooms and I have been open since 1996. We celebrated our 25th anniversary in July. So now I'm working on year number 26.
Awesome.
Near a rail trail. I have covered bridges, wineries, and if it's something that might interest somebody, if it's there, I use it in my marketing because somebody somewhere is interested in it or it wouldn't exist.
That's great.
Thanks,
And
Kevin.
is there anybody who's sharing a webcam? I'm just curious if it's working. I can definitely see Tim.
To turn it on. Wait a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just still seeing you, Janice. It does look like a number of our attendees have self-muted, so you should be able to unmute yourself to talk. We don't have you muted here on our end, so if you are muted, I think it's just the mute button there in the little widget, I guess, that you can click, and it should unmute you.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and introduce myself. Nathan Allen, Swantown Inn and Spa, Olympia, Washington. 17 years an innkeeper. Didn't think I'd do it for this long. Don't want to be doing it for this long, probably. I love the idea of having a national sort of like site like bnbfinder. As Tim knows, I spoke to him at great length over my problems we had, but we're trying to solve those sort of things. I'm also a big advocate for state associations. I was the president of our Washington Guild for a couple of terms. I think networking with one another is a great thing. Reason I'm here today is I would like bnbfinder to be very inclusive of all inns, and I would like to help you guys get rid of some of the bad blood that I think is out there from the past and make this truly a platform for all inns nationwide. I think you got a ton of work to do with that.
Oh, are you there?
You muted me at that point.
Oh gosh.
I was having
all attendees. I'm so sorry. I was trying.
That was about the most insightful thing that I was going to be able to say, and you muted me. But
I'm so sorry. Okay.
That's all right. I know you didn't do it deliberately, but anyway, I think there's a ton of potential. I think it's something that's needed. I hate the OTAs. They're a necessary evil, and by evil I mean they suck. They're horrible. They couldn't give a damn about us. You know, recent experience. I've been out thousands of dollars with Airbnb. It's a crazy world we're in at the moment, and from our perspective, at least, we're getting 2 crazy sets of guests a year. We're getting 2 crazy sets of guests a month at least. People have just lost their minds, and so any tips on stopping the crazy is going to prolong myself as an innkeeper. But no, we're just we have 5 rooms. We have a ballroom we added on and a 2-bedroom suite, and through some sheer miracle SBA financing, we bought the house behind us and run it as a vacation rental as of a couple of months ago.
Oh, cool.
Anyway, I have the gift of the gab too, so I'll mute myself now. Bye.
Well, thanks for sharing, Nathan. That's awesome. And again, sorry for muting you. It certainly was not intentional. I promise.
All right, I'm Joanne Carnes, and I'm on the East Coast, Cape May, New Jersey. The Wilbraham Mansion is a 26-room bed and breakfast / boutique hotel. We have 2 buildings, one historic building from the Victorian era, and then a 13-year-old building with a lot of modern amenities. And my husband and I took over from his mom 15 years ago. We're almost 30 years in as the family running the property. And we do have a local association for inns and stuff that's been very good, although we're dwindling because we probably had 70 B&Bs in this town 20 years ago, and we're down under 20. So we're probably maybe 17 or 18 now. So there's a lot of transition going on in the market in our town.
Wow. I have a quick question about that because, you know, I've heard this from some of the different tourism areas, and that, you know, a lot of the B&Bs are closing. Would you say that they are closing and selling as private homes, or closing and converting into vacation rentals, or
It's
what
both
sort
of those. Yeah, Janice, it's both of
both?
those. Some are converting to private residence, and some are converting to weekly rental. Yeah.
Interesting.
It's too cost prohibitive. If you have 10 rooms or less, you can't buy the property and run it as a profitable business. I mean, you really need, you know, 15, 20, 30 rooms to make it profitable.
Wow.
There's a lot of, you know, between regulation by the state that's costly and the increase in property values from, you know, 30 years ago when these people started running these B&Bs, you know, out of their home. And the property values are, you know, are so high now that it can't be a business, a profitable one anyway.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that.
Hi, Janice and Tam. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
You know who this is? We go back a long ways. This is Baby Woody.
I was going to say, Baby Woody.
The white
Your face as soon as I heard your voice.
I figured you would. Straight from the coast of North Carolina's Outer Banks.
Great to hear your voice, Bibi.
We have 9 rooms. We've had probably the best last 2 years that we've ever had.
Wow.
We're on
Wow.
the coast. But we've also put a lot into our marketing now, a lot more. Last year we did a new website, and we've been in this 27 years. And I keep saying we're going to sell it, and I keep backing out because I love it so good. So I'm glad that you guys are bnbfinder. The reason that I joined was because of the two of you, my experience with your knowledge and abilities in the past.
Thank you, Bibi.
All right. Anybody else want to introduce themselves here?
I'm Stephanie McCaffrey from Twain Harte, California. We have 7 rooms. We've been open 25 years. I still love innkeeping. We are profitable unless I take in the value of the house. Our county started, like this other gal said, with probably 25 inns, and we're probably down to 5. And they've all been sold as private residents. And I'm with you guys because I love you guys, and Tim's a great salesman. And I really love Tim. And I'm
well, I
horrible
like
at
you a lot
marketing.
too, Stephanie.
I have somebody else do all my marketing. I just walk to a different beat. That's it.
Well, thanks. And Stephanie is also a part of the Inlight marketing group out there in California. So she's been on a couple of the calls that we've been on with Christine. I'm sure can attest to how amazing the, you know, let's say sense of community is there amongst you and the rest of the clients with Christine. I think we were just so impressed by what Christine was doing there.
That's true. I mean, we've been, I think it's like 62 weeks we've been going.
Yeah.
And there's some, one of our groups should be a stand-up comedian. He's so funny. But yeah.
That's awesome.
It's really nice to talk with people who understand what you're talking about. Yep. And I'm a part
Absolutely.
of, and I've been president of that state association, and I was part of California Hotel Lodging Association because I was president of the. Yep.
That's great. And I know that we've got a couple of innkeepers who sent some messages over that they don't have a webcam or they don't have a mic either, so they're not able to introduce themselves. So I know we've got a few that aren't able to do that. And I also, is there anybody else who wanted to take a minute to introduce themselves before we get started on a couple of these topics?
Hi, it's Peter at Westall House B&B in Warren, Vermont. Good to see you both.
Hi, Peter.
Happy fall, Peter.
It's absolutely spectacular here. It's beautiful leaves on the trees, beautiful leaves on the ground, 75 degrees sunny. Couldn't want for a better fall. So it's absolutely gorgeous.
Oh,
And so
amazing.
we've got a nine-room B&B here. It's been a tough couple of years, but since the middle of June, when the restrictions in Vermont were lifted, things have been going gangbusters. Everyone's traveling. Everyone, of course, wants to come to enjoy beautiful Vermont. So we've had our busiest time since middle of June ever, which is great. So it's making up for all the tough times in the 15 months before that. So we're happy and into our 16th year as innkeepers.
Wow, congrats.
Awesome. Great to have you. Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, you know, you said it, that travel is back and things are going gangbusters. I mean, I just was in New Orleans for a quick, basically 48 hours for a wedding. And unfortunately, I was flying Southwest. So that was a little bit frustrating. But it was incredible to see how many people were in the airports and how busy everything was. And it's just really exciting to start to see that all coming back. And one of the things I wanted to mention before we got started and looked at some of the new gift card things that we have coming and really open the conversation up for some of these things is I wanted to make sure that I mentioned about B&Bs for Vets. We recently included it in our member newsletter. And I know we've got Kathleen on the line here as well. So Kathleen, if you wanted to share some things around B&Bs for Vets as well, that would be great. I can say just personally, this is a program that I've supported and participated in as an innkeeper for many years now. And it's just a really, really great opportunity to be able to share the B&B experience with the vets during Veterans Day. And so if you have rooms that you're able to donate for folks to be able to come and stay with you, I highly encourage you that you do. This is something that I did when I was up at the Inn at the Round Barn up in Vermont, up very close to where Peter is, right next door. And it was incredible to be able to host the vets and their families and have them, you know, coming to breakfast and meeting each other and interacting, and just a really, really special experience. So, Kathleen, I don't know what you'd like to add, but I would love if you wanted to share some additional details with the group.
Anyone that is a legal bed and breakfast can register on the as a participant on the site bnbfinder.org. That website will be left up all year so people can see who did participate. There's also an option for you if you have any special offers or discounts type thing for veterans. You can post that in another section, or you know, I think it's an add-on with it when you're registering. But you can post your offers, ongoing specials. Yes, that's it. And that will be up all year also. So it gives you another couple ways to be found by the searching public. And when they're doing a search. And I have found that I've gotten many veterans have booked with us. And it might be because of the participation, or it may be because of the discount. I don't know, but it's revenue that I would not have had otherwise. We do suggest that you get the credit card number, take the registration just as you would any other reservation. And when they arrive, if they show a Veterans Administration or a military ID, which should cover just about every veteran out there, the charge for that one night goes away. The requirement is a minimum of one room for one night, either November 10 or 11. the impact as far as publicity is concerned is everybody doing it at the same time instead of spreading it out. That's what got us the wow factor in 2010 when we took it nationwide to start with. We had 900 that year.
Unbelievable.
That made a big spread. Some of the directories were emailing their clients, and even web developers were emailing their clients. Get on that site. It is getting more hits than all of the directories combined. We haven't had that many since, but you know, we keep trying.
Exactly.
If you have any questions, just email gillamhouse.com.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Thanks, Kathleen.
Thank you so much. Yeah, and we'll do everything we can to continue to help support it. I'd love to see properties in every state participating. That would be awesome.
It would be fantastic. And actually, just last year, I got a message from two of the couples that had been here 1 year. They became fast friends and they visit each other frequently. And they had never met until they were here for B&Bs for Vets.
That's awesome.
Oh, so great. Thank you so much for doing that. So I have got, I thought it would be great to show all of you just a little bit before we hop into the gift certificate and the gift card program at bnbfinder. So as many of you know, we acquired bnbfinder back in April of 2019. And when we, this is on the Wayback Machine of the gift certificate. There was no gift card program back in 2018, right before we acquired the business. And so as many of you know, Tim and I have a lot of experience both in the gift certificate and gift card program through bnbfinder.com. And it's been really interesting to watch the program and how it's evolved since we acquired the business at bnbfinder. And one of the first things that we did was decided that we definitely needed a physical card because travelers, you know, want to be able to receive that card in the mail, to be able to give it as a gift. So we launched the mailed card or the plastic card program. I think it was 2019 was the holiday season when we were able to launch it. So it wasn't long after we acquired the business. And we also, at that time, of course, acquired the tech stack that the site was built on. So one of the products that we've been waiting to migrate, in addition to gift cards, is also in for sale. So those two products have been in development, and specifically gift cards. For the last couple of months, we've been really ramping up and getting ready for the migration of the product. So what does it mean for you as innkeepers, and what does it mean just as far as getting more exposure for the industry and reaching travelers that may not have thought about a B&B as a gift or an experience before? So everyone, I think you can see my screen. I just looked at the audience view and it looks like it's coming through okay. So what you're looking at right now is this is our current site. So when a traveler comes to bnbfinder to purchase a gift card, this is the landing page coming from our homepage here. So everything that you see when you look at, you know, bnbfinder as the primary site, this is all built on our new technology. When the traveler comes over and they click to purchase gift cards, you'll notice in the URL it changes to blog.bnbfinder. And this is all on, still currently on our, what we call our legacy site, or the older technology. So the development team has been working on the design and the coding of the new platform where travelers will be able to come and purchase gift cards from the site. And so a couple of things is that having this moved over to our new tech stack is also going to help the site in performance, not only in performance, but of course, it's just a much better experience for the travelers as they're purchasing the gift cards. And so I'm going to share with you what the new site looks like. And this is on our development servers. And the Timeline right now we're looking at is just at the beginning of November. This will be launching for travelers. And there's also going to be some enhancements for innkeepers as well, and automating some of the process here. So I think it's a good reminder for, of course, anybody who's on the call today who accepts our gift cards and has been redeeming gift cards since we took the business over. You know, in the pre-acquisition time, everything in the process was manual. And so there were a few things that we were able to automate early on, but we've been pretty restricted in what we were able to automate because of the technology living on the legacy tech stack. So now that we're migrating over to the newer tech stack, it's great because we're going to be able to have a lot more flexibility for less manual processes and more innovation and more automation, which I know all of you are patiently waiting for with this process. And a big part of that is because we've seen, you know, just as many of you have shared, you know, earlier, that travel is definitely back and it's booming in a lot of areas. And we've also seen that reflected in not only our gift card sales, but also in our gift card redemptions. So I'm going to give you a little bit of the background on the redemption process and how some of the gift card lookup stuff is going to be changing. But you can see here, this is the page where travelers will be able to come and purchase. It's just a lot more modern of an experience. And we will still be offering, of course, the e-card option as well as the mail card option. And when I come here to the mail card option, they can, I'm not going to walk you through the whole checkout as far as purchasing a gift card, but this just gives you a sense of the style and the direction that we're taking the site. And one thing I want to mention as well, just as far as of innovation and updating of all of our tech, is at the same time that we are working on and launching our new gift card platform, we are also working on a new iOS traveler app. So it's the first time that industry specific, so professionally run bed and breakfast app will be available on the Apple Store, and that's going to be launching before the holidays as well. So really taking the business into a whole new generation of technology, which is super exciting. So a couple of things I want to mention, and this is also based off of feedback that we've gotten from members and just trying to make it just easier to work with the program in general. So because we hadn't been able to migrate off of the old technology onto the new technology, one of the things that has continued to be manual was something which seems so simple, is looking up the balance on a gift card. And I know a lot of members have shared some frustration, especially when you're getting gift cards over the weekend, you have a traveler coming, they want to redeem it, you want to verify the balance, and you have to wait until, you know, Monday if you submit that form. So the looking up of the gift card balances and verifying the gift cards are available for you to be accepting them, that's all going to be automated with the new launch that's going to be happening here at the beginning of November. So I don't think that this part has been coded yet, so I'm not going to go in and put in just a fake gift card, but you'll be able to come in, put in the gift card, and you'll be able to see what the balance is. Unlike now, where you come in and looking up gift certificates or gift cards is this form that you have to put in all the information and then wait for that to get back to you. So that is an exciting feature that we cannot wait to get launched. I'm going to go back to this page here. So on the redemptions for anyone who's a member, there's a couple of things that I just wanted to point out in case you're not familiar with how the redemptions work and the commission of it. So when we acquired the business, the commission was 15%, and that was, you know, what we inherited with the business. And really over, you know, the last year and a half, and with the challenges of the pandemic, we've been always looking for ways that we can increase the business to the members. So I think it was it April, Tim, when we changed the commission this
It was
past April?
December 2020.
December.
I'm pretty sure. If I'm wrong, I think I've been telling people the wrong date for a little while. But I think it's December 2020 when we did it.
Yeah. So we were looking at that commission, and that was again based off of feedback from members that, you know, we love the gift card program, we want to participate, but the commission is just something that, you know, we can't manage along with, you know, the cost of listing the inns, especially with the pandemic and the unknowing of, you know, what was going to happen as far as travelers continuing to travel. So we looked at what we could do to decrease that and to make that a lot more palpable for innkeepers to be able to accept. And so we went from the 15% to 3.5%. And we say it's a commission-free program because we don't charge a commission any longer. What that charges, that 3.5%, is a processing fee, because that's what we have to pay to Stripe to process the payment. So when you had redeemed a gift card previously and it was all a manual process, it was also that we were writing checks and putting those in the mail. So innkeepers are having to wait for those payments to come through. And now that we've implemented ACH, so direct deposit into your checking or savings account, whichever one that you set up with us, then that 3.5% is that processing fee that we get charged from Stripe. So it's just covering the cost of that fee. So it's something that we have been very happy with, to be able to offer that, and also seeing the increase in redemptions, 21% increase year over year, just means that we're driving that much more business to all the members who are accepting the program at a much lesser cost than what we were previously offering. Are we going to add something there, Tim?
I was just going to say, for us, it's a lot of fun to talk about how the cost of our gift cards is now pretty, similar to what you pay to run someone's credit card yourself. We take credit cards all day. You guys take credit cards all day, and we understand, historically, that some of the percentages on some of the programs can be onerous to you guys, especially during times when you're filling your rooms otherwise. And so for me personally, having been in this industry for 22 years now, having had a lot of, let's say, challenging conversations over the years, about the different percentages charged on gift cards. We love talking about the fact that it's now just a 3.5% processing fee, and we think that that's really aggressive fee on our part here that we can offer to the industry, and really right there kind of in the ballpark of what you pay to run someone's credit card directly. So it's just another way we can send you guys business that's pretty visible to you guys that it's coming from us. So we love talking about that.
I lost sound.
What's that? Oh, you lost
sound?
That's okay. When is that 3.5% starting?
It's effective now.
Yeah, it's been in place since December 2020. The one, let's say, requirement to qualify for the 3.5% is we do ask that you add the bnbfinder logo to your website and link that to your listing on our site. That helps us help you, so to speak, by ranking more prominently in Google and getting more traffic that we can send you direct and commission-free reservations. But the 3.5% has been available since December of 2020, but you have to have that link on your website. And so we track, everybody who has the link, and those folks automatically qualify for the 3.5%. Without the link, there is a 10% commission on the redeemed gift card, which is still reduced from the 15% that it had always been.
Okay. Do you have instructions available for how to get that on the website, on our website?
Yeah, if you.
I can show you here. So after you log into your account, so this is a dashboard for one of our members. It's actually Sage Hill Inn. And so when you come into your dashboard here, a couple of things. If you click on property up at the top here, that's where you can go in and you can manage all of the content that's listed on your account. And if you click on account, then you'll see gift cards is here. So that's where you would go in. You can sign up for the program, redeem a card. But there's this link here that says badges. And this is something that we recently launched, and we tried to make it as easy as possible to add the badge to your site. So you can come in and you can find the badge that you want to add, and if it's your membership level, whatever it might be, and copy the code, and that automatically has the code that you need to implement. And then we put the instructions here at the top, and also put this little infographic here to make it as easy as possible. But it's just a matter of adding that code, and then it will show. Typically you want to add it in the footer, but your web designer can also add it for you.
Great, thank you very much.
And I would just
Yeah,
add,
you bet.
I would just add that we don't have any third-party advertising on our site. We don't link to or show any of your competitors on your listing on our site. If you go to some of the other travel sites out there, when you go to your listing, you know, a lot of times you're going to see some of your nearby competition on your listing. And so just to say that when you are linking to bnbfinder with this badge, you're linking to your information, to your property's listing. It's all about you. And there's, you know, again, no third-party ads, and, you know, none of your competitors are showing there on your listing. So just know that also.
Yeah, that's great. And I think it's also a good time just to check your website too, and make sure that you don't have any old links going back to bedandbreakfast.com, because we still see this actually quite often, where a lot of innkeepers had added a badge to their site for their listing on bedandbreakfast.com. And of course, everything now that is linking to that site is going directly to VRBO. So you want to just make sure that if you have a badge and you want to still keep that badge on there, just make sure that it isn't currently linking to anything, or else you'll be sending everything over to the VRs. Something there. Okay. Something else that I wanted to share with you as well, and I'm curious if any of you have had any issues with any fraud or any chargebacks recently. I read an article through FocusWire that had mentioned, that there's been an increase. As, of course, as travel picks up, inevitably there's going to be some folks out there trying to game systems. But with our gift card program, we also, because we use Stripe and we use one of their fraud protection products, which is actually pretty incredible. We can go in and we can set different levels of fraud protection. So we do everything on our end to ensure that that the gift cards, of course, that are being purchased aren't, fraudulent cards that would be purchased by someone, and in turn, you going in to redeem them and having any issues. So one thing I do always recommend, and just like, Kathleen had mentioned about taking the gift cards for B&Bs for vets, even if you have someone who's coming in and they're redeeming a gift card, whether it's from bnbfinder or it's from any other site that you participate with, definitely always getting the credit card to hold the reservation and just to have on file. Also, because a lot of the time, folks who are using gift cards, they might have a $150 gift card, but they're coming for, a 2-night, 3-night stay. So clearly the cost of the gift card isn't going to cover the amount of the gift card isn't going to cover the cost of their stay. So making sure that you have that, I think, is just always, good practice. And some things to also remember on the redemption side of it is that I mentioned the ACH payments for the redemption, and then also our customer support team that's led up by Bo, who some of you may have spoken to previously. He's always available for email support, and you can always reach out with him as well if there's anything that you need help with on the gift card program. And I think someone said, oh, that they were still muted. So does anyone have any questions or anything to share with their experience with the gift card program, or any requests on, as we're building out these final stages for the launch, any feature requests that you might have that you'd like us to pass to the dev team? We are open for any feedback that you have.
Janice, it's Peter. It all looks very good. I think you've done a great job thinking it through. I did have one comment which impacts you more than the innkeepers. There's a lot of financial liability associated with having no expiration, because you'd have to hold that on your books basically forever. So I would just wonder if you want to rethink that.
So I'm really glad that you actually brought that up, Peter, because it would be great if there was the ability to have an expiration date. So what's really interesting is, gosh, I wish I could remember what year it was, but I've been doing this for so long, I couldn't tell you exactly the year. Tim might remember the right year. But when we were back at bnbfinder.com, when we had a gift card program, even way back when I started, back in the early 2000s. And back then there was a 1-year expiration date for that card. And that was based off of, we were based in Colorado at the time, and that was based off of the state law and the escheat laws related to the expiration of gift cards. And not long after that, I think it was right after we had moved the company from Denver to Austin, there was a law passed that said that you couldn't have expiration dates on gift cards, and that they need to hold their full value for the amount that they were purchased with. Now, the caveat there is, so that is only on the full paid purchase amount. If you have a gift card that you give away, so if you're running a promotion and say you do a $25 promo gift card, or there's no value that's associated to it that's been paid, those cards can be expired after 1 year. But anything that's been paid for by law cannot have an expiration date on it.
Well, and every state has their own escheat laws too. So when we were at bnbfinder.com, part of why we moved to gift cards that did not expire was to frankly simplify our own internal, let's say, record keeping, because with 50 different states and 50 different laws on how to treat gift cards and whether or not they expire or can expire, we just went with what was the most, let's say, I guess, lenient approach to the program, that being that the cards don't expire. And that satisfies every state's escheat law out there, especially those that, you know, don't allow for gift cards to expire. I know, for example, Nathan shared over the chat here that Washington State does not allow expiration dates on GCs. And so even if we wanted to expire a GC after a year, if the person was in the state of Washington who had purchased that GC, their state would not allow that GC to expire. And so it's basically just to, you know, make it streamlined and very clean and clear to everybody that, you know, the cards just don't expire.
Tim, I would recommend, this is Phoebe, that everyone check their state laws, because when I was president of the North Carolina Bed and Breakfast Association, when I took over, we found out that the state of North Carolina required us to pay any unused back
Into the state.
We had to go back and spend a lot of time and effort locating people. We had to make 3 attempts. I mean, it was quite complicated.
Mm-hmm.
And in the end, we had to verify that we couldn't, after 3 attempts, reach them. But anybody that we did, we had to either pay it back or
turn it over to the state, probably.
Yep. So it's the state that's going to get you.
Yeah, and so that's, I think, again, why ours don't expire. I think that satisfies every state's requirement out there. There are some states that will allow to expire, in which case you probably still have to do a couple of things you were talking about there, BB, before you can, let's say, realize that as revenue, have to turn it over to the state. But without the GCs expiring, I think it kind of, supersedes every state's law out there in terms of their own individual laws about how to treat GCs.
Yeah, we ceased putting expiration dates on North Carolina gift certificates for B&Bs after that.
Yeah, and I think it was you that said it, BB, but I agree. If you are offering GCs at your property yourself, definitely take a good look at your own state's escheat laws to see how you are legally allowed to handle the money on the GCs.
Yeah, I tried to find a breakdown by state, and the last one that I could find that was updated was 2011, as far as a full list of by state. But yeah, I definitely agree that you should check with your individual state. I would be surprised at how many have an expiration at this point. I think so many have turned to have no expiration. But definitely check locally to find out.
Federal, they say it's 5 years.
I'm sorry, did you say, what did you say there?
Federal law says you can't expire for 5 years, but you can put an inactivity fee if the card is not used in time.
Okay. Yeah, so with us, ours just don't expire, and that just, I think, again, for us, it kind of, takes care of everything, regardless of the state's individual escheat laws there. There was a question too in the chat, just if someone comes in with one of the BNB Finder gift cards, how can you run that? So Janice, if you want to just click and show where people can go to fill out the information right now to get their information on redeeming a gift card. That was for you, Els. Just if you get a gift card, you can go online and fill out our form where you basically, every gift card has two numbers, an order number and a certificate number. And that's how we're able to look up the balance of the card and tell you what the card is worth. So you just fill out this form right here, and then our head of support will get right back to you with the balance of the card and let you know that it's a valid card. And that's how it works right now. But as soon as we launch our new platform here for GCs, you're not going to have to wait for us to get back to you on that balance. You'll be able to look up the balance yourself and verify, in real time what the balance is, and then go so far as to redeem it right then and there. So right now it's a little bit manual. We have to look it up for you, and we'll try to get back to you as quickly as we possibly can. But here, come start of November, when we have this new platform out there, you won't have to wait to hear from us on that. So.
Yeah, exactly. And one thing I'll mention too is that with all these product launches, with so many new things happening, not only with the gift card program, but with the new iOS app, before any of this launches, we'll be sending out communication to all of our members with any of the specific steps that need to be taken. If you need to redeem a gift card, if you need to check a balance, and then how you can do that on the site. So we'll make sure that it's super clear. The good news is it's all going to be a lot easier than it is currently now. So, but we'll definitely communicate that ahead of time as well, so you're in the know. And it looks like there's also some questions about if gift cards can be specifically redeemed for one B&B. I see what you're asking. Okay, so that's actually a great question. So the way that our program works is when a traveler buys a gift card for another guest, or they're gifting it, one of the great things about our program is that they can then redeem that gift card at any property that participates in the program. So when you're looking up to see who accepts gift cards, there's a couple of different ways that travelers can see who participates. So if they go to that page that says locate participating B&Bs, then it goes by state and it shows all of the properties who participate. But chances are they probably are going and searching for a specific destination because they know where they want to stay. And so if they're searching by location, then here I'm just doing a search for the state of Massachusetts, and you can see any properties who are in that area that accept gift cards will have the little icon there as well. And then we also offer to help travelers. Oftentimes people will reach out and say, you know, I'm interested in going to this certain area, you know, which, because if they need help finding it in, then we're happy, you know, to assist them and guide them through that process. But it's not only through that search, but then also they can come in and they can actually use the filter as well and show all properties on those search pages that accept gift cards. So, you know, it's one of the great things of us, you know, reducing that cost to you to participate. There's really, you know, there's only benefits to accepting the cards, which is fantastic. You know, at bnbreakfast.com, I think at one point our commission for gift cards was 20%, right? So to be able to offer a program like this for 3.5% is just fantastic.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I think that answered the question.
Yeah, I don't think, I'm not seeing any other questions in here. I would just say, and this may not even be relevant because for the people I'm speaking to, you may not be able to hear me, but just reading in the chat here, I've seen some folks have had some difficulty with the volume or the hearing of the audio, and gosh, I'm just so sorry. This is only going to get better every time we do one of these. So we hope that, you know, you guys will be open to attending every time we do one of these, because I think we love doing this and we think it's great to get everybody together. And once we have the video where you can see each other and, you know, nobody's restricted with the audio, which again, I'm so sorry for that. But I think this will be a lot more fluid for all of us. We want to see you as much as you may want to see us. So
that's my favorite part. So does anyone have any additional questions or comments or feedback that you want to share while we're together this afternoon?
Well, this is Joanne.
Or any parting comments?
I think that this upgrade to the gift card program looks great because it is frustrating waiting for an email to come back, you know, days or weeks later with either, you know, verifying a card or getting redemption. So I'm very excited about this as well.
Oh, fantastic. Yes, thank you so much. I couldn't agree more. Innovating and automating, that's our two big focuses right now.
It's great to see all the new stuff that you're working on, because that gives us a heads up as far as where you're moving forward. We've kind of been sort of waiting to see what's coming next. And I know you've got lots of ideas, just knowing you, Janice and Tim. You know,
exactly.
Like your staff probably says, will you stop thinking? But appreciate it.
Well, thanks for being
here. Thank you so much.
It's good to see you.
You too.
I had a couple questions too, just about our gift cards. If our cards are something that you could use to say, give to one of your guests as kind of a thank you or like a reward, you could certainly do that. But I think in a situation like that, I think you would be better off giving one of your own gift cards for a stay specifically at your property. Our gift cards, just to be clear, they can be redeemed at any one of our participating properties, and they are, you know, for purchase. So you wouldn't necessarily be able to come to bnbfinder to get a gift card to give as a you know, thank you gift or something like that for one of your guests at your property. That's something you would do through your own property, through your own gift card program. And so just to try to clear up any confusion on that, wanted to point that out also.
Yeah, good point.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, I am not seeing any other outstanding questions here. If by chance I have missed one, I'm so sorry. Let's see here. I loved your comment, Kathleen, about how you're a cheapskate and you didn't want to take GCs, but knowing now that they are just 3.5%, you will. I love that. That's the big reason why, we wanted to try to eliminate the commission. We don't want anything, standing in the way of any guest coming to your property from bnbfinder. And so we want to try to make that as smooth and let's say painless as possible. So I thank you for sharing that feedback.
Yeah. One thing too that I wanted to mention that I didn't include as far as, travelers being able to come and get answers to their questions quicker, and even innkeepers as well. So one of the things that we're going to be launching, I don't have an exact launch date for it, but I imagine it's going to be somewhere around when we launch the new gift cards, definitely before the holiday season, no matter what, is we're going to be implementing a chat support. And that is something that will be available on both our desktop and our mobile site. I haven't gotten confirmation when that'll be integrated into the iOS app, but a big reason for that is I'm sure many of you have experienced text support or chat support recently with other businesses. I myself just had it with Warby Parker and had one of the best customer experiences, support experiences that I've ever had. And what was great about it was that, everybody's so darn busy, and I didn't have time to sit on hold, especially with a lot of businesses and a lot of airlines, things like that, with extended hold times and just wanting to get answers to questions as quickly as possible. And so by implementing this chat support, certainly it's not going to take away from any of our other support. It's only going to complement it. And what that will allow us to do is to take a lot of the questions that we get on a regular basis and have those available as what they call a chat bot. So a traveler can come to the site, they can type in their question, and we'll have several of the answers that will be able to be automated. And then if they still need additional support, then they can request either a callback or they can request a live agent. So I cannot wait to get that implemented, because I really think that in conjunction with the ability to look up a gift certificate balance as a live balance and not have to submit forms and wait for things is just going to increase the overall experience, both for the travelers and for all of you innkeepers as well. So wanted to make sure I didn't forget to add that in there. Awesome.
And this is Stephanie. I would like to say something about your 3.5% service charge. In our little town of Twain Harte, that's being added to all restaurant charges. And I'm wondering if any bed and breakfasts are also doing that on this. I mean, I haven't done it yet, but it seems to be very common in Tuolumne County. So I don't think it's something that's going to shock people at all, at least in California.
I think that's a really good point.
We
seems like a resort fee maybe or something like that. Is that kind of?
No, it's not no. Basically, because I have a son who somehow or another just ended up as the GM of a really great restaurant up here, which didn't please me because he has a full-time job. But anyway, they're charging this 3.5% as is the pub. Everybody up here is charging this 3.5% service charge because that's kind of the max that we charge for by our credit card companies, and they're just passing it on.
Interesting. I mean, I think, on something like that, I don't know, I think that's probably up to the individual property and probably would fall under what you're allowed to do there. I don't think any travelers get that high at a 3.5% service charge. I don't know that would necessarily, prevent you from getting a reservation. I guess it's whether or not it's, how it's presented to the traveler and what it is, supposedly going for or going towards, I guess. I'm not sure how that would work, Stephanie. That's pretty interesting, though.
This
We
is
do
Joanne.
it on
and
our
I
wedding packages.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, this is
Yeah,
Joanne. I was just going to comment, you should check your state law also on that, on what's illegal in your state to add, to do that, to add charges like that.
Yeah, I have no idea, but they're calling it a service fee, and I guess, and it's nobody's complaining.
We do it on our wedding packages
Okay.
because that's a lot of money that, we're collecting up to 15 to 20,000. And we factor that in. But we haven't done it for rooms or anything else.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I do think it's an interesting idea. I mean, we did it as well on our wedding packages, specifically around if they wanted to use credit cards for those charges, because again, they're, tens of thousands of dollars, and that's a big fee for us to incur as a business. So yeah, definitely an interesting.
The only comment I would have on that too is just that I've heard, and I can't substantiate this, I think I've heard it from innkeepers though, that some of the credit card companies can penalize you if you are charging a fee to offset the credit card processing fee. I think I've heard that Amex does that, and so I would also check with your providers on whether or not something like that is acceptable, and depending on how it's labeled as well. Is it just a service fee? Is it a credit card, charge recovery fee or something like that? And so I think you probably need to check with your providers on whether or not you would be able to do something like that too.
Years ago, it was illegal to have a service charge if you were using credit. However, that was changed quite a while ago. MasterCard allowed it if you had a sign posted visible where you were taking the charges at the point of sale. If you had a sign that stated flat out that it was a 3.5% or whatever it was service charge, that was allowable. But you had to have it posted that there was a service charge.
Okay.
I never implemented it because I figured it would tick them off that I was charging them more for using the credit card. I just, I don't have huge thousands of dollars. Even with my wedding packages, my elopement is less than 1,000, which is the selling point for it. And I'd rather swallow the fee and get the business than to tick them off with telling them you got a service charge for using your credit card. But
I think it's all in the delivery, probably. I think a lot of the world is, pretty sensitive to the fact that you are a small business, and it's tough to operate a small business. And if you're talking about a service charge that covers costs of your own, and it's presented, I think, in a tactful way there, that hey, this is something we as a small business really need to do to stay solvent. I don't know, I think most people are pretty reasonable to something like that. But yeah, if you're just kind of slapping a fee on there without any real context for why the fee is there, then I think people might raise an eyebrow and wonder, what the heck, why am I getting charged this fee? But anybody who I think understands maybe why you might charge a fee, I have a hard time thinking that they would have a problem with that.
Yeah, Tim is spot on. Tim is spot on with that. We do the same thing. We do budget-friendly elopements that are under $1,000 too. And one of the things I say, if you want it to remain budget-friendly, you can pay us with check or cash, but we can't eat for the prices we charge. We can't eat that fee. And 99% of people get it. Our book rate, if someone comes to look, about 90% book. So It's good value. People understand that there are fees for small business. And if they're the sort of people that don't understand how hard small business does it, you don't want them here.
Thanks for sharing that, Nathan. Yeah, I know personally I wouldn't balk at something like that. If someone explained to me why they're charging, I would say, oh, okay, gosh, I had no idea you had to, pay that kind of fee on that. Because I think that's maybe the challenge, is that there's a lot of consumers who are probably, completely unaware of what it might cost you to run a credit card, and the fact that that's an expense of yours. Some folks certainly know, but I don't know that the broader traveling public is aware of that.
Hey, Tim, while you're on that, and I just had the OTA one, and on a similar note, this is what we all need to do. When you get people that book through an OTA, you need to explain to them that your guest, you say, hey, we're really happy you found us for the first time, but guess what? Next time you book at any sort of lodging, even hotels, book it direct, because the OTAs add absolutely nothing to the quality of your stay. And the amount of people that have no idea that by booking through Expedia or Booking.com that are paying 10 to 20% commission, they're like, geez, if I had known that, I would have booked direct. So I am slowly, one person at a time, doing it. If we all did that, I think it would be great for our industry. But you've even seen the likes of Hampton Inns, at least in our area, they did a book direct campaign. And, and a lot of those bigger places are doing that now because they're sick of them too.
Yeah, it's a pretty onerous fee, when they spend, these guys, they spend a tremendous amount of money. I read at one point, and I don't know if it's still the case, but I know that at one point, Google's largest customer in the world in terms of what they spend on advertising with Google was Expedia. And so, they are spending a tremendous amount of money to, I would use the word, divert guests away from you directly through their channel so that they can earn their 15 to 20% commission to get that person to your door, when that person may have gotten there anyway, if not for, let's say, the marketing strength of an Expedia or Booking.com.
Exactly. If they're charging you 20%, they're spending 19% of it on advertising you and having a site that, because you've done all the work on your listing on their site for the most part, it'll look so much like your site, or people will be so confused that they'll go, I did book you on your site. Yeah. And my thing would always be, if it's a blue site, it's Booking.com. If it's a green site, it's mine. And I don't mind paying it for those first time people, but it becomes frustrating if you get a regular guest that starts booking through a third party site that you've earned their business in the past. Anyway, that's my high horse for the day.
Well, thanks for sharing.
No, I love it.
We agree.
I think this could be one of our topics for one of our next sessions.
Also,
that's why I use bnbfinder, because I refuse to use the OTAs. I'm not giving them commission money to put me out of business. Yeah. Same thing for air, and I refuse to use the last 3 letters of their title.
My problem is that once you're with them, it's so hard to get off them. I have a standing ticket with Booking.com saying I want to cancel, and I can't get anyone to respond to it. And if I don't give them any availability, they make me look full. So I didn't over the summer because I sure didn't need it, and I only give them 1 room every now and then now, just so I'll come up. But it's a nasty, evil business.
Yeah.
Well, I agree with all of you, so I just raised all my OTA rates $30 a night. That's what I did.
Yep.
Screw them. I don't care.
Big sideline on that is that we do a cancellation fee. Okay. The reason we do a cancellation fee is because we're processing twice those charges. And we've had 1 complaint in 27 years, and that was recently when this woman said she just did not understand what a cancellation fee was for. So when I explained to her that part of it, most of it, was charges on her credit card that we were having to pay, she said, well, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
there's a
just,
lot of consumers out there who are unaware of how that all works.
so I guess we need to make sure that we clarify things better. That's what she said to me. You need to put that on your website. So,
Well, BB, one by one, I think, we can climb this mountain because it is a mountain.
yeah,
And yes, I think, to the degree, to your point, Nathan, to the degree that we can all, educate travelers on the benefits of booking directly, I think, and I think in particular right now in sort of today's business climate when, the world has just been put through the ringer for the past, 18 months. I think now more than ever, there's an interest in supporting small and locally owned businesses, and so I think most travelers will be pretty receptive to your comments on why it makes sense to book directly, why it makes sense to not use a site like Expedia or Booking.com, why you need to maybe charge a service fee when taking a credit card payment because there is a cost to you for taking a payment in such a way. I think right now, maybe arguably more than ever, folks are going to be pretty receptive to trying and wanting to support small business. At least that's my belief about, let's say, humanity.
I think that's a good thing for you guys to follow up on, if possible, to see what is happening with people. What are they charging these extra charges or not? I mean, it would be interesting to know.
Yeah. All right. Any other questions? Any other comments or anything? We'd love to. We're here and we have time. So if there are additional comments or questions, chime in. We'd love to facilitate the discussion. Okay. Well, I'm not seeing any other comments here. I think we are good to go, folks.
Yeah.
My email, if anybody has any questions offline, is just tim@bnbfinder.com. Same with Janice, it's just janice@bnbfinder.com. We'd love to hear from you guys and any other questions that perhaps we didn't get a chance to talk about today. If you have ideas for a future session like this, we'd love to hear that too. Because and I think next time you'll see everybody's face instead of just me and Janice's face here, because we want to get you on video as well. It's just great to be here with everybody. So thanks everybody for coming here today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Yes. Have a great afternoon, everyone.
You too.
All right. Bye, guys.
Talk to you soon.